What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Krusty Christie. This is different. I already watched this video, and afterwards, I was like, you know what? I want to share this video. I need to share this video. It's an incredible video. A former prison inmate I'll just read the title. The cold realities of what happens to inmates who rape other inmates. Warning, graphic content. Graphic content. So that's what I'm telling you. It's written down in the title, but I'm just saying it is graphic. I mean, before we get started, if you don't already know already, every former prison inmate that I've ever heard has said the same thing. Prison guards are corrupt. They do what they want. They just do bad stuff. Take bribes. So, but I respect this guy. This is the first time I've ever, the algorithm showed me this video. Let's get to it. Listen.
This question asked a lot. What happens to inmates who rape other inmates in prison? Now, it's a very weird situation. They're known as booty bandits in prison. Yes, they're fucking scary, right? Now, knowing that convicts hate rapists, child molesters, pedophiles, anyone who hurts women and children in these sick, demonic ways, gets stabbed, extorted, beaten, killed, whatever you can think of. The officers help, inmates, I mean, everybody goes after them. Hits are put on them. I mean, they don't have a long time to live. And if they do, their life is miserable. They're not eating, they're getting poisoned. I mean, it's treachery. But the sad part about it is these booty bandits a lot of times get housed alone, you know, in 24-hour lockdown, in DC confinement. And what they'll do, the corrections officers, you know, the corrupt ones, say they have a problem with an inmate. For example, Ricky Martin. Look the story up on Google. He was more confused than a billy goat on AstroTurf. You know, he was in his early 20s. He was trying to be a gangster one day, trying to go to church the next, but he would mouth off to the officers, and they didn't like it. So what do? They get him put in the cell with this notorious rape.
If I ever went to prison, and I'm not going to, I would not mouth off to the prison guards at all. I would try to become friends with them, like kiss their ass. The prison guards, a lot throughout the United States, throughout the world really, but talking about the United States, I don't know, maybe you can say the majority are corrupt, but if I was in prison, I would know not to F off, to mess around talking shit to the prison guards, because they control, you're inside a cell, they can do whatever they want.
Rapist, booty bandit, killer who's not supposed to have a day, trying to go to church the next, but he would mouth off to the officers, and they didn't like it. So what do? They get him put in the cell with this notorious rapist, booty bandit, killer who's not supposed to have a cellmate to teach him a lesson. They walk away.
who's not supposed to have a cellmate. The ones that are not supposed to have a cellmate, they are the most vicious ones. They're like top tier. They're not supposed to have any cellmates, because chances are they're gonna get raped, probably killed. And what do the guards do? Yeah.
For 30, 45 minutes. Ricky Martin, who goes home notorious, rapist, booty bandit, killer, who's not supposed to have a cellmate to teach him a lesson. They walk away for 30, 45 minutes. Ricky Martin, who goes home in 3 months, in his early 20s, gets beaten, raped, and ultimately killed because they wanted to teach him a lesson. But don't get it twisted. The worst thing that I've ever seen happen.
Don't ever mouth off to prison guards. If you're watching this, stay out of prison. Don't do anything that's going to send you to prison. Dealing drugs, anything. Stay out of prison. You're prey. If you go in there acting like a badass, you are going to be taught a lesson. You may have been a badass out on the streets, but it's a whole nother level inside prison. You're a nobody. You're not. You can think you're a badass. Fine. Keep it to yourself and kiss ass to the guards while you're in prison. Don't go in there like, man, I'm gonna handle my business. I'm not scared of no one.
Happened to a booty bandit was this. He was for 30, 45 minutes. Ricky Martin, who goes home in 3 months, in his early 20s.
He was supposed to go home in 3 months. 3 months. The prison guards, they know all this. They know when someone's going home, life in prison. They know. They knew he was going home in like 3 months. But he pissed off the prison guards that much that they basically threw him to a pack of hungry lions. They knew it was going to happen. He's going home in 3 months, early 20s. Mouthed off to the guards, thinking he's a badass. Raped by multiple times, or raped once, and beaten to death. Listen to this man. This is a wise, wise man. He's a former prison inmate.
Gets beaten, raped, and ultimately killed because they wanted to teach him a lesson. But don't get it twisted. The worst thing that I've ever seen happen to a booty bandit was this. He was trying to extort somebody, threatening them with the words, trying to beat him up, and basically saying, look, you're going to bring this dope in and have your girlfriend's friend bring me dope in also. And the dude was so smooth mentally that this booty bandit was trying to extort that he was like, all right, man, all right. But little did the booty bandit know that this dude was reaching out to his girl on a cell phone, telling her what's going on, and said, listen, when you make the balloons and that girl gives it to him, make sure there's holes in them. And what do I mean by that? So when you have visitation, people will get Skittles or M&Ms, and they'll get balloons, tiny little balloons that are the same colors, and a girl will go into the bathroom, pull it out of, wherever she keeps it concealed, and either have it hidden in her hand or her mouth, and kiss him or hand it to him, and he'll act like he's eating the M&Ms and swallow them, and then get to the dorm and poop them out and make the money. Well, what he told his family to do and the girl to do is when she goes into the bathroom to take them out and put tiny little holes in them, just enough to where when he swallows them, they'll open up in his body. It was heroin, K2, all types of stuff. I think they even poisoned one. She comes out of the bathroom. I think she had him in her hand or something like that. It was a corrupt prison, but the guards really weren't looking for anything because they were part of the play too. They were getting paid to look the other way. She hands them to him as he's eating the M&Ms, and he's popping one at a time, one at a time, one at a time. And they bust open in his belly purposely. And within 45 minutes of that visit, dude starts having a seizure, ultimately dies right there in the visitation floor. That's the art of war. Be strong when you're weak and be weak when you're strong. Then
I like that saying. When I watched this video and I heard that, I went back and I had to rehear it. Be strong when you're weak. Be weak when you're strong. That is I've heard a lot of quotes and stuff like that. I never heard that one. Be strong when you're weak. Be weak when you're strong. And I think he said that's the art of.
And they bust open in his belly purposely. And within 45 minutes of that visit, dude starts having a seizure, ultimately dies right there in the visitation floor. That's the art of war. Be strong when you're weak and be weak when you're strong. Then
it's the art of war. Hey, the guy, he was in prison, wasn't a good dude, and he was trying to extort this other guy. He got what he deserved. Notice how he said the prison guards, they didn't care, they didn't do anything, they just looked the other way. The majority of prison guards in this country are corrupt. Not all of them, but the majority. And I think a lot of them love it. If you've ever been to prison, you know what it's like. And you never want to go back. I'm guessing I'm probably like 110% positive you never want to go back. No one wants to go to prison a first time.
You have one of my closest friends, I consider a brother, named Spawn. If you haven't heard his full story, go check it out lower on my page. He basically got tried by a booty bandit.
I will.
Dude was doing it, just seizure, ultimately dies right there in the visitation floor. That's the art of war. Be strong when you're weak and be weak when you're strong. Then you have one of my closest friends, I consider a brother, named Spawn. If you haven't heard his full story, go check it out lower on my page. He basically got tried by a booty bandit. Dude was doing it, just literally grooming him for the next step. They get transferred to the same prison. He ends up catching the guy in the chow hall, stabs the booty bandit so much his intestines are coming out. I was right there, blood. I can still smell the blood to this day. He went in, Spawn, with 3 years, and now has 27 more years to do, and doesn't regret it for a second, because you're either going to be a victim or a warrior in prison. But you also have the organizations that hate these motherfuckers. You can't be part of an organization if you're a booty bandit. If you have any type of weird shit like that going on, you not only cannot be part of it, but if they find out that you claim their organization and you're doing this type of stuff, it's mandatory death sentence. So what they do is they tell them,
So if you're a booty bandit and you claim that you're part of their organization, their gang, their group, first of all, that's stupid. Because you know that they hate booty bandits. And you know if they find out, and they will, they're going to be pissed. They're going to be pissed. And they're going to want you dead. And like he said, that's a death sentence. Why would you claim you're part of...
to go collect money from a weaker dude, because obviously the guy's going to be a warrior in prison. But you also have the organizations that hate these motherfuckers. You can't be part of an organization if you're a booty bandit. If you have any type of weird shit like that going on, you not only cannot be part of it, but if they find out that you claim their organization and you're doing this type of stuff, it's mandatory death sentence. So what they do is they tell them to go collect money from a weaker dude, because obviously the guy's going to be scared to death. You know, a weaker guy that owes money to an organization is already scared, and you're sending a booty bandit, he's going to pay that money immediately. And what they'll do is they'll collect the money, and then they'll step to the dude that cleared his debt out of pure fear of getting raped or even worse, and say, listen, we're going to get this dude away from you. And the booty bandit has no idea that this is being a double play. And they'll be like, please, please, man, you won't stop. And what they'll do is they'll gain the booty bandit's trust again, call him over and say, we need you to do another mission. What is it this time? And they'll tell him to go here at this time and do this with that person and get this money. But really, they'll have about 3 or 4 inmates waiting. They've been paid to hit this dude up and stab him, slice him, beat him, ultimately, and try and kill him. So it's not respected. It's disgusting. But the problem is the COs use it as a way to discipline inmates they don't like, or just hurt inmates they don't like. And they're predators. They go...
COs, which I'm guessing stands for corrupt officers.
What is it this time? And they'll tell them to go here at this time and do this with that person and get this money. But really, they'll have about 3 or 4 inmates waiting. They've been paid to hit this dude up and stab him, slice him, beat him, ultimately, and try and kill him. So it's not respected. It's disgusting. But the problem is the COs use it as a way to discipline inmates they don't like, or just hurt inmates they don't like. And they're predators. They go after the weak. You show any weakness to them, they're coming for you. And in the worst way possible. But what happened to...
They're corrupt. This man's telling the truth, man. He's... Don't... This is a former inmate. He's seen it. He's seen it all. Heard it all. And notice just how much these prisoners are able... It's like they're out... It's like they're on the outside, in a way. Alright, go here, go there, be here, be there. If officers weren't corrupt, none of this stuff would be happening. Or at least it would go down by like 80%.
Ricky Martin was probably the worst thing that I've ever seen in prison, as far as just a tragedy. That man went home in 3 months, and those officers put him in the cell with the most notorious rapist, killer, locked him in the cell in DC confinement, 24-hour lockdown, and walked away for 30 minutes while this man was raped and beaten to death. It's a dirty game on the inside. Stay out, stay free. Us.
You heard him, man. Stay out, stay free. Don't go to prison. Do not. I've heard like at least 30 different inmates talk about what it's like on the inside. They all have said the same thing. Prison guards are corrupt. Prison guards allow this, they do this, they do that, this, that. Oh. And you know that the warden, the stuff like, the higher ups, they know that shit's happening like this. Like this Ricky Martin guy, he says Google him, I'm gonna Google him. It's not Ricky Martin, the former singer, living la vida loca. Those officers, they knew that he was gonna be killed, raped. They knew he was gonna get out pretty soon, a few months. They didn't care. I didn't care. The higher ups, they find out when someone's been killed in prison, when another inmate's killed another inmate. That guy was a tier 1 threat. He wasn't supposed to have any inmates or any cellmates. You don't think the higher ups, you think higher ups are like stupid? Just our worst inmate, one of our worst inmates, just killed his cellmate. Oh wait, he's one of our worst prisoners. He's not supposed to have cellmates. What? No, what in the world? Why would he be a cellmate with someone who's not supposed to have any cellmates? Because he is a dangerous threat. Everyone knows what's going on. Anyways, I wanted to share that. I wasn't going to. I watched the video before I reacted, and I was like, I want to do a reaction video. Well, it's not a reaction video. I wanted to share the video with you guys. That man, he knows. He's a wise man. He knows what it's like. He's been in prison. Anyways, like always and forever, take care, be safe, peace, stay out of prison.